And as if by magic, here we are in the commentary box at Thruxton, aka Media Centre, and of course joined by Ewan, who's made his way over from the Media Hub.
I have. Looking forward to another British truck racing race. The big rigs out once again on the front row. Ryan Smith and Dave Jenkins. This, of course, race number 2 is still in championship order because we had no qualifying. So Stephen Powell and Michael Oliver on row 2. Row number 3, John Bowler and Neil Yates. Row number 4, David Smith and Tom O'Rourke. And then we have Division 2, Simon Cole ahead of John Powell. And we should see one more truck on page number 2 if we can get there. But Simon Cole now leading the way in division number 2 after the round 2 at Pembrey. Any more news on condition of Stuart?
Yes, great news. Well, I say great news. He's got 2 broken ribs, which is great news compared to 3 broken ribs. So, you know, racing is very dangerous, but he's walked away from it quite well. He's on his way back as we speak. So he'll be home in time for a hot dog at dinner. And the England game. Oh, is there football on today? No one's mentioned it.
5 o'clock, and it's being shown, I think, in the Thruxton Centre as well. So you can hang around and watch it if you're here at venue. But enough about football. This is a day for motorsport, where the cars take centre stage, and the trucks, of course. But we have had some incredible racing. Really disappointed we couldn't get a proper finish to the Coupe Cup race. However, race number 2 of the British Truck Racing Championship this weekend is now underway.
Right, that's it. It's a fantastic start there for Ryan Smith. Dave Jenkins looking very close, bunched up around that first bend though. Steve Powell caught on the inside as he backs down into 3rd position. Michael Oliver looking, of course, to make a repeat of his fantastic performance earlier on today. Will we see the same kind of battle in the earlier laps from John Bowler and Tom O'Rourke? Looking through the porridge that is our stream again, we can just about see Ryan Smith making a very early lead again. We've spoken to several people this weekend about, is Ryan Smith unstoppable? I mean, I think he is. I spoke to Mark from the circuit earlier on as well. In Parc Fermé, we had a moment before the trucks came back in from their last lap. And yes, it does seem like he's bulletproof now.
I mean, when you've got the fastest driver in the fastest truck at the fastest track in the UK, there's always going to be question marks about how do you beat this guy. Now, this is not just truck racing this weekend, it is convoy on the plane as well, which means we've got the Red Dragon Monster. You've been on the Red Dragon Monster truck ride yet?
I have been on the Red Dragon Monster truck, yes. It was very exciting, extremely enjoyable. It's a lot more shaky than it looks. You know, you look at it, you think, oh, that'll be all right, but it's not all right at all. Right, here we go. We've got some fantastic racing back on our screen now as Michael Oliver looking for that doorway through Dave Jenkins. Right on the tail. It's a very close bunch, this 3rd position. Of course, Ryan Smith nowhere to be seen as they power on through. A good couple of seconds advancement as they come through the complex now past the Media Centre. John Powell, how is he so far up in Division 1? Doing very well. Actually, we got to speak to John Powell after that last race about his troubles with his engine. A team member of his, Adam Richmond, I believe his name is, found a new engine and got it into the truck in the last 4 days. Without him, of course, no racing for John Powell this weekend at all. So, yes, lots of props to him. Of course, John Powell's been very grateful and, of course, very vocal about thanking this guy for making him or getting him to Thruxton.
I mean, we know throughout the entire sort of series of categories and races, the paddocks are incredibly friendly and yes, competitive, but you've been around the truck paddock more than anybody else. You know it better than anyone. I mean, there is real rivalry in there, but sincere friendship as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, we can go from the extremes of getting off the track and staring daggers from across Parc Fermé to moments later congratulating each other for the fantastic race. You know, the fact that they've all walked away from it, the fact that it was a good battle. You know, adrenaline is adrenaline. It makes us react, it makes us act, and of course, when everything starts to calm down again, you can appreciate the race for what it was, which of course is entertaining and great to be a part of. and there always is so much support. I mean, we've had Adam Bint not racing with us this season, but he's actually been on every single circuit so far this year, helping the teams with different issues. Round again then to finish lap 4, I do believe, and we're seeing Steve Powell in a very comfortable second place, Dave Jenkins behind him, Michael Oliver for John Powell. And we found out earlier on as well, Dave only had body rub on his tyres, so it was literally he managed to clip the tyres, self-admitted, clip the tyres coming through the chicane, which knocked his panel into his tyre, which is why it was only smoking on certain bends when the vehicle banked over, and that's what was producing the plumes of smoke. Not quite as much smoke, of course, as our poor friend Paul Rivette.
Yeah, that was quite a lot of smoke coming out as he entered the pit lane. Just what about an hour or so ago, but he's back on track. Everything seems to be okay. Now, worth mentioning, this is not just truck racing this weekend. This is the Convoy on the Plain, one of 3 events over the course of the year where all the trucks come in to show how good they are across the UK. So there's plenty of displays. There's Red Dragon monster truck rides, fun for all the family. There's live music. So if you are thinking about watching the racing at Thruxton tomorrow, why not come on down and bring the whole family and enjoy yourself? There is literally something for everyone. Now, we are just waiting to get some pictures here back in commentary, so you can see what's going on, and we'll keep filling the gaps here. But in terms of the championship, I know we've mentioned it so many times, but it's a really important factor. Can Dave Jenkins catch Ryan Smith this year? What needs to happen?
I mean, look, there's always a racing prowess side to these things as well as a reliability side to these things. You can be the best driver championship in the world. If your truck lets you down, something happens, or someone else goes into you, completely out of your control, it's going to hold you back points-wise overall. This is, of course, when the other drivers will have the opportunity to then claw some of those points back. Now, with the point system as it is this year, as we spoke about earlier on, much bigger bonuses for those top few places, which, of course, really can keep shuffling the deck, so to speak. So if you have any issues, it really is, like I said before, with Division 2, it's to some it's like there's not many trucks in Division 2, but now I know that means even more to play for, because it really will be the first one that blinks that will suffer, and everyone else will benefit for literally just being in there.
Now, something else I want to mention this weekend, the British Truck Racing Championship has combined with Man Up, a charity that is trying to raise awareness for men's mental health on and off the track. It started in 2019. Man Up exists to raise awareness about mental health amongst young men, specifically breaking the stigma that surrounds the subject by encouraging openness. So, British Truck Racing Championship working with the charity Man Up. And we do now, Pointy, have some pictures. Excellent, we can see now. We knew it was happening, but we can see Ryan Smith in the lead by 5.3 seconds ahead of Powell, Jenkins and Oliver. Only, what's that, 2 seconds between second, third and fourth, so pretty tight racing. And as you said, Powell in Div 2, currently 6th overall, beating the Div 1 trucks of Smith and Yates.
Indeed, I don't know what's going on there, but of course, being the type of track that it is, not a huge amount of overtaking areas unless you've got excessive power to put down on the person in front of you, or you've really got to have that perfect line every single lap. But of course, it takes lap on lap to start to gain back those seconds. Ryan Smith, of course, flying ahead, as we'd expect. I believe he corrected me on the podium earlier on when he said he actually ended with an 11-second lead on the second position, which is incredible. But of course, one we have to watch, Michael Oliver and Dave Jenkins really are in this battle together now, I believe. They are all over each other. And of course, we're still starting the race in championship order. The reason of which, of course, is because of the delays we've had today. And of course, we're doing the rolling start as well, which is another thing that I believe keeps catching people out, is the fact that when they're going out on the outlap behind the pace truck, they're completing that first lap, they're not pulling up, they are literally just going, boom, we're into it. And of course, our friend Stuart in the pace truck driving this afternoon started that race. It really is very close, isn't it, with those two, the battle of third position. But look at that, Ryan Smith, almost on a country drive, enjoying the scenery, you might as well, I'd say.
Yeah, enjoying the Hampshire countryside. Now, it is races 3, 4 and 5 which are going to be tomorrow. It's where we're going to have the overtaking taking place. Already today we've had a few races with very few overtakes. There is of course the chicane right at the end, but when you've got a vehicle that is like weighing a few tons and a few metres wide, the opportunities for that get slimmer and slimmer. However, tomorrow, race 3, 4 and 5, they are reversed grids for the front 8, so the likes of particularly Ryan Smith, if he wants to win, he's going to have to make southern overtaking manoeuvres, and even so, like of Jenkins, Powell and Oliver, who are going to be, as things stand right now, on the rows 4 and 5 or 3 of the grid, likewise. So yes, it gives the opportunity for the drivers less likely to win, given that jump head start, but for the entertainment, the fans watching, tomorrow is where the action happens.
Oh yes, big time. I mean, yeah, normally the qualifying on the Saturday, but again, saying that for a Saturday, we've still got quite a few spectators. Certainly enjoying the weather, which may or may not change tomorrow. So it's always interesting here at Thruxton, because we are, of course, convoy on the plain, very open space, an aerodrome here during the week. We've seen helicopters land a couple of times as well already. But yes, it can literally blow over in seconds. Quick mention though of some of our fantastic sponsors this year, who I don't really think we get too much time to talk to all the time. TRP Parts, of course, supporting us with our pace truck earlier on. Our championship tyre sponsor GT Tyres, who have been massively involved with the sport now for several years, and a fantastic addition it's been to the British Truck Racing Championship family. Dines Motorsport, of course, MB Commercial and Fruhoff, separate companies, both of course ties with our Division 1 driver Tom O'Rourke, building those trailers and of course getting those vehicles into the hands of the people that need them. And Sylvie Fleet, new for this year, also I believe supporting us with our fuel from BWOC, which is a bulk fuel storage company, which provide the championship with their free of charge biodiesel, which of course helps the championship get even closer to that net zero that everyone's so up on talking about. And of course, if there are any issues, we cannot forget our good friends at Total Care Garage Equipment, and they again came in a couple of years ago, and we now see their tower lifts, their mobile tower lifts, in use quite a bit at these truck racing weekends, Ewan.
Well done. I love a sponsor readout. Well done.
I love the sponsors.
And thank you to every single one of them. Now, if you are here at the circuit, Pointy, just a quick one. Has the signature's been done yet? Or is that tomorrow?
No, I believe there's going to be a grid walk tomorrow morning, God willing. Everything's still running on time, and I believe that will be a good opportunity for anybody involved to come down onto the grid and get some driver interviews. I do believe there usually is a driver sign. It will be around lunchtime, because that's when the most people are here.
So if you do get one of your programmes of the event when you arrive at Thruxton over the course of the weekend, in the centrefold there is the opportunity to get your driver autograph, so you can get them then either at the grid walk tomorrow, or hopefully at lunchtime there will be an opportunity to speak to the drivers person to person. Again, it is a very friendly paddock. At any point really you can walk through the paddock when they're not racing and pretty much walk up to and speak to any driver you like. They are that friendly. 3.5 minutes of racing to go. It looks to me as though Ryan Smith is just trying to beat his 11-second gap from race number 1, isn't it?
Racing himself
and
on top of
he's going to come straight to you and go, look, Pointy, 12, look, 12.
Do you remember the ghost cars you used to race against on computer games? I think he can see his own lap time in front of him, and he's just trying to get ahead of it all the time.
Much tighter, of course, for those 4 behind. So Powell ahead of Jenkins. I just see those gaps. 3 seconds in back, but then Michael Oliver just half a second back to Dave Jenkins, and that front 4 there really is the front 4 of the championship. They're not quite in perfect order, apart from Ryan Smith being on top, and they are still close, aren't they? Michael Oliver all over the back of Dave Jenkins. And Jenkins, as we know, can't afford to lose too many points to Ryan Smith. He wants to keep, as long as you can keep within like 1 race's worth of points, there's always a chance, isn't there? Considering it's 20 points for a win, if there's any kind of mechanical issue, I mean, Stuart Oliver has been like the story of issues this season so far. It's terribly sad to be out of so many races. But it just goes to show, if you miss one race, you can potentially lose a 20-point gap. So Ryan Smith, yes, he's flying. However, there are opportunities going to be available, depending on, of course, reliability. Just over 2 minutes left of this race. When they cross the finish line, as long as there's not 0 seconds remaining, they can go around for, they will go around for one more lap. And we'll just keep our eyes on this race between these two. What have you pointed out here, Pointy?
I've just had an actual WhatsApp message off Stuart Oliver saying that he's heard his shout out. Thank you very much, and he's on his way back in one piece. So that's good news.
I'm not going to be behind the wheel of a truck, but it's great to have him with us. And if we can get 3 men in front of a microphone, might even join us tomorrow as well. He joined us, if you didn't listen, at Pembrey for a couple of races, and the insight was just brilliant. I had Wayne Rocket for the Coupe Cup, former championship winner, and they just know things that you can't learn.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, these guys, especially the drivers, know these trucks inside and out. They've been in it so many years in a completely different capacity to us as spectators or commentators. And of course, they really do know the nuances, shall we say, of this sport. The things you should and shouldn't, you can and can't get away with. And that's what makes it racing. So it's lovely to get that totally different perspective on all of the racing there. Looks like, though, Michael Oliver's dropped back ever so slightly now, though, as he's under a bit of pressure from John Bowler. And John Bowler looks like he's absolutely pushing his life out of this truck. Some of the quickest driving we've seen this weekend from John Bowler, as he really is trying to make a gap past Michael Oliver. 12 seconds of, oh yeah, 12.1. So he was definitely correct last time he says 11. Wow, 12.14 seconds lead on Steve Powell, second place. But of course, Steve Powell's going to be super thrilled if he can make this second place stick, taking his first trophy of the weekend as well.
Yeah, it came into the weekend third in the championship. All points matter. So we'll see this evening. We'll try and get an updated championship table for you ahead of races 3, 4 and 5 tomorrow. So Ryan Smith, if he could slow down now, cross the finish line on 0 and still win this race. However, he will cross the start finish line, which means they will go for one more lap, just in time for that. Maybe you'll get up to 13 seconds lead. Dave Jenkins ahead of Oliver. Actually said John Bowler is 1.4 last time around. That's not going to be the case now as they come through the club chicane. So we'll see the gap as Pointy just spins round to look out the window. Dave Jenkins flies through. There is Oliver and Bowler. So that 1.4 second gap now is going to be down to 0.62. However, overtaking at Thruxton in any vehicle is a challenge. To do it in a truck is another level absolutely entirely. So on to the last half of the lap for our leader Ryan Smith, and here we go. Oh, he's got through Pointy. Pointy moves away and he has got through Bowler over Oliver. He was pushing hard for the last 3 or 4 minutes. He found an opportunity. Back comes Michael Oliver on the inside. Where is this one going to finish? They're trading places. Let's go round the mound, and it is going to be as it stands. Bowler, here comes Michael Oliver on the inside now on the right-hand turn. My goodness me, he's going to get it back, and John Bowler will have one more chance into the chicane. You missed that, Pointy. Bowler was in the lead for 2 or 3 corners. Michael Oliver has got it back, and that is going to be maybe the last chance as we watch Ryan Smith go through the chicane, and he will come round the start finish line at Allards for a second win of the weekend, and he is looking absolutely formidable.
The checkered flag is out as Ryan Smith crosses the line. Second time this weekend. He's going to be happy about that. Simon Cole there from Division 2 seeing the flag. It's Bowler for Michael Oliver now, though. Will he try and make that last move as we see Steve Powell comfortably through on second? Dave Jenkins a couple of seconds behind him. Is the gap good enough? It looks like Michael Oliver is going to be settled nicely in 4th. John Bowler for the 5th place, and quite the gap now until we see Dave Smith making his way round in the number 11. Quick pause from the flag waver there, saving their energy for John Powell ahead of one of the Division 1 drivers, of course, taking his second podium this weekend. Him and his teammates are going to be very thrilled about that. Of course, with the points for Division 2, we can only, of course, hand out one trophy. Neil Yates there in the number 33 coming through. So yes, overall for the entire weekend, Division 2 actually get a first, second and third based on points earned across the weekend, because of course there are so few drivers in Division 2. It's nice for them all to go home with a trophy effectively, and it really does mix up weekend by weekend as well. Fingers crossed though, we'll get to see Paul Rivette back out tomorrow, and of course they've got an entire night of work to do as well as a football match to watch, which will be interesting to see if they can focus on one more than the other. Ewan, I think I better set off to the... Oh, there he is, still nursing himself round. I think some serious work to be done there for Paul Rivette as he crosses the finish line, and the flag is drawn in for the last British truck racing race this weekend. So whilst you have a little read through on the screen there, full 10 lap race completed there, average lap time of about 1:37 for Ryan Smith, taking the fastest lap, which of course means extra points for him as well. Second fastest lap he's had this weekend. I would imagine John Powell's going to be getting the fastest lap for Division 2 as well. We're waiting for them to make their way back round now from the parade lap as they pull in to the Parc Fermé. We won't be making the same mistake as we made this morning though, and waiting patiently until the marshals give us the all-empowering nod to enter Parc Fermé to start our interviews. Who do you want to see me interview tomorrow? I think that's what we need to talk about. If you're listening, watching from home, stick us a comment down in the comments box below. I'll have a look through these later on, and then we'll be able to see if you want me to ask any particular questions to any particular drivers, and we'll try and get that done in Parc Fermé, the 3 opportunities that we've got tomorrow. We might even have some time to record one of the trophy presentations as well, which would be nice. So, eagerly awaiting the return of the Titans, the 5-ton, 12-litre, 1,000 horsepower racing machines, making their way now into Parc Fermé. Fantastic racing from all, and no damage to any of them this time. All that started finished, which is what we like to see. Michael Oliver, good drive for him again. But where? Here he is. Just got to wait so we don't get shouted at. We'll get Steve Powell to come round to us so that we don't get our wrists slapped. Steve. Yeah, oh God, come on, you see him in the tent in a minute. Unbelievable. You happy? I mean, shall we just go? We'll go. No, fantastic congratulations coming from all his teammates. Steve, that's the result we wanted, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit disappointed in the first race. Messed the start up a bit, to be fair. I think I was half asleep. So I knew I had to get away there. And even in front of Michael, but result to get in front of Dave as well. And I think we held the gap to him. I'm not sure. I couldn't see him.
No, it was tight. I mean, we didn't see anything at the beginning of the race because we couldn't see anything on the screen again. So we just looked at the blank and went, "There's racing on there somewhere."
Yeah. No, right. I mean, Ryan had gone, and I see him for a couple of laps in the mirrors, and then I couldn't see him, so just kept me in.
Ryan, within the first 4 laps, pulled about a 6-second lead on the entire pack, which is incredible speed. So yeah, he was away with the fairies, and then it was down to you to lead the race effectively.
Basically, yeah.
The rest of the race. You know?
Yeah, I'm happy. Listen, I'm happy. Look, we're where we need to be. So I mean, he clearly won the first race as well, so everyone's off the pace compared to him. So at least it's not just us. So happy with that. Like I say, very disappointed with the first race today, but see what happens tomorrow. So.
Indeed we will. 3 races tomorrow. Will you be watching the football? I noticed we've got some special livery. Where is it? Did you have it? It's coming home. Is it? Believe that? Do you truly believe that? Predictions?
Do you know what? I think they're going to surprise us. I didn't think... Me and Charmaine were celebrating a minute from against the last game because we could come here and chill out. Obviously, we ran the pub and now they've won. And I think, do you know what? I think they've got a good chance today. You just never know. They're England, aren't they?
Keep on believing,
yeah,
mate.
we keep on hoping anyway. So. Look, you've got to try it. You've got to be a little bit confident.
You've got to try. We've got to keep...
I'll take them off tomorrow.
Yeah, we've got to keep the pub full. Do you know what I mean? Right, let's go and see who else we can find. Steve Powell, ladies and gentlemen. Right, where are we now then? Paul not looking happy with the performance. We spoke to you earlier, we were in such high spirits. What happened? Give us the bad news.
So race 1, our brand new turbo that we put in the truck for today, decided to let go.
Sacre bleu.
We had an old turbo that came off of the Detroit engine that came in this truck when we bought it from Steve Powell. We put that on there, but it's just not producing any boost, as you can see out there.
Indeed,
so.
you were a little bit slow, weren't you? Yeah, I could almost feel the frustration. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way it goes at the end of the day. Sometimes this is motor racing. The guys have worked so hard with everything, and going up with a new part that's failed is, yeah, it's just a bit.
Is one en route for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have a chat and we'll see what the guys have got in their back pocket.
Got to find a turbo from somewhere. It's got to happen.
Anyone out there, if they've got one that wants to run one down, you know.
Andover, set it in your postcode. Andover for a new turbo. And what size turbo is it? Garrett,
You'd have to talk to the boys for that one.
So it's about yay big. About yay big. It's one of them.
It produces a lot of power. I know that much.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can see, you can surely miss it when it's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing.
Split every single gear then just to try and everything in it.
So high-low, all the way through.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Because I mean, normally when you're driving these things, you're actually only using 2 gears, aren't you?
Yeah, I tend to use a few more than the Division 1 boys in this. So I tend to use probably the top 5 gears, basically the top 3 and then split.
Right, interesting.
Round here I'd use the top probably 2 gears split normally.
So yeah, you're up and down like a fiddler's elbow at the moment then.
Yeah.
Well, look, we hope that you get sorted for tomorrow. Predictions for the England match, if you're bothered, or just say no?
No.
Sweet, me neither. Happy days. I'm asking for you at home. I don't care. Right, who have we got? Have we lost everybody? Now, right, let's go this way. Let's go this way. Dave, better result? No, not happy.
No, I'm not. I'm not happy. It's just we weren't fast enough. You know, I seem to have found some rear grip, which was ultimately saving my life out of the chicane and out of the complex.
Lovely.
But I'm having to get out the throttle where I've got it turned in, got it committed, where I should be able to pick the throttle up, and it's just washing out on me. And then the longer you've got lock on round here, the more you're overheating the left front tyre, and the worse the problem gets.
Oh dear.
So we need to go and have a little look at it. But no, not happy. Of course I'm happy. I'm going truck racing, aren't I?
Of course, we love truck racing. It's the only reason you show up, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.